All right, cool. The broadcast is live on air. Hey, everyone, this is Jason here from cricketstoreonline.com. Super excited to have Dipesh Patel here, who is essentially our lead international buyer, who goes overseas and hand selects, hand picks, goes to the factory, hand selects all the best cricket gear just for you guys. Dipesh, why don't you tell us just a little bit about you? We do have 5 viewers already, and yeah, why don't you just tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about what you do for Cricket Store Online, how long you've been involved, just give us a basic of who you are.
Hi, thanks, Jason. So as Jason introduced, my name is Dipesh Patel. I play cricket and I love cricket and I'm really passionate about cricket, and that is the reason I make every effort to go across the globe to hand select the equipment that you guys are crazy about and trust the most on Cricket Store Online. Um, what I do is I go to the factories, I look at the quality, I look at the specs, the profile, and basically sometimes I also work with manufacturers to change the profile that suits better for US market, UK market, Canadian market, Australian market, depending on where we have majority of our customer base. So today we are talking to our US customer, and I'm sure there will be customers joining from other places as well. So that is the reason I mentioned all these geographic, because we take pride in customizing profiles and shapes that fits your need.
Great. So that's actually pretty cool. What I actually want to try to do here right now is share this link onto our Facebook page as well, even though we're going to have tons and tons of viewers from obviously from YouTube here. I just want to make sure that everyone from Facebook can get over here as well. And so if you guys just give me a second, why don't you, while I'm trying to figure this out, Dipesh, you've already told us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you just sort of touch base quickly? You recently went to the UK and you visited Gunnemoor, Grey Nichols, and Kookaburra. Why don't you just tell us a little bit, don't get too much into the products, but why don't you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So about 4 weeks ago, or 4 to 6 weeks ago, me and one of my colleague, we went to UK to see the product, how Gunnemoor makes their cricket bats, how Grey Nichols makes their cricket bat, how Kookaburra makes their cricket bats, and other goods. And what is their process? What is their thought process behind introducing new range every year? What is their thought process behind the shapes and the different things that they bring to the market? And what are the new innovative things that they do? So we had a very, very productive trip out there. And to be frank, actually, within a span of 4 days, we driven over 1,000 miles, and I'm not even kidding or exaggerating. We've driven over 1,000 miles because this was our first trip to UK, and we didn't know whereabouts of different factories, and they were all spread across. So we actually went north one day, south the other day, and came back north the third day, and then went back south the fourth day. So yes, it was our fault, but again, we enjoyed it because the day started bright and early. We gathered a lot of information. We learned a lot of new things about different manufacturer doing different things and why. So it was very good overall. So it was an amazing trip.
Excellent. So that's actually very cool. So right here from the start, what I want to do is, if people can hear us okay, why don't you just mention that you are here, jump into the chat room for the people below, jump in the chat room, let us know where that you're here, but also we'd love to know where you are watching from. So if you're in Bangladesh, if you're in New Zealand, if you're in the United States, Canada, the UK, whatever it is, let us know where you are. and we'd love for you guys to tell us just how we're doing. And it would be awesome if you guys could share this post, obviously, with your friends. So, Dipesh, jumping now into let's talk a little bit about Grey Nichols. This is your first visit to Grey Nichols in Robertsbridge in the UK. Tell us a little bit about your visit there. Just give us a few, just a little bit about how things were there at Grey Nichols.
So Grey Nichols, it was very interesting, and truly, like Jason said, it is at the Roberts Bridge, and actually their factory, it is by a bridge. So it is kind of funny. I just thought it was a town, but truly it is a bridge is called Roberts Bridge, and also the town is called Roberts Bridge. So the interesting thing about Grey Nichols is, we all know that they grow their own tree. Majority of their manufacturing is done in India. However, because they grow all of their trees, they prepare all of their willow here, or actually in UK, with the from cutting process to cleaning up process to the drying process. And once the cleft dries, they grade the willow over there, and then once the grading is done, they ship the willow overseas to India for bat making. Some of the bats are also made in UK. For example, some of the players' bats, some of the legend bats are made in UK by some of the Grey Nichols bat maker who still resides in UK. Also, interesting thing we learned is, there was a myth, right? Or people thought it was a myth that there is only one legend bat available for every 100 English willow bats. And it is quite true, because we saw thousands and thousands and thousands of clefts laying around, and we saw a very tiny pile of clefts which were qualified to make a legend cricket bat out of. And when I say tiny piles, about like 30 to 40 compared to the thousands and thousands of clefts that we have seen, ranging from grade 1 to all the way from grade 5. Wow. So that was a very eye-opening. Also, another thing we learned is they were making one of the Alex Hill bat while we were there, and I actually asked, "Wait, are you sure this is Alex Hill's bat? Stop bullshitting us." And they said, "No, it is for Alex Hill's." And the reason I said that is because the bat had, like, small knots, not a knots, but just the small pins. The wood didn't look as clean, and we actually picked their brain on, wait, why are you sending these to the players? It's not going to do good. And say, no, that's a myth. All we check for the player bats is performance, even though it looks a little disoriented or little not as clean as somebody would like. But at the end of the day, what matters is the ping and performance, and of course balance and pickup. So they particularly picked that clef out because the willow grading maker thought that this clef is going to perform the best for Alex Hales, and that's why it was picked for him. Awesome. So I was surprised to see not so clean willow for them, but again, it was. I actually, they almost finished it, so I actually tried the ping on it, and it was out of the world, even though it didn't look as clean. Also, the number of grains was only 6 to 7, and I was also surprised by that. And they said, again, it all goes back to how the bat is going to ping, and that's all they care about. Player cares. They need to ping and hit the ball out of the park.
Yeah, this is actually something that we've been talking about for years now, that essentially it's not necessarily the best looking piece of wood that plays the best. However, you need to wants it to play like a Ferrari as well. Whereas a player who's getting that bat for free, he doesn't necessarily care what it looks like. His most important thing is what it plays like, right? Dipesh, you there?
Yeah, 1 second. Technical difficulties, 1 second.
No problem, no problem. We can't see you, but we can hear you. So why don't you just, now you also went over to Gun and Moor in the UK. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your visit there, not giving too much away about product, but just focusing on your visit to Nottingham. You there? Oh, okay. Looks like the pest dropped off. I bet he's going to be back in just a second. He's had some technical difficulties. Why don't you, for the 14, 15 viewers, hold on, Dipesh. We'll get back to you in a second. For the guys in watching this video, there's comments down below. We'd love to hear where you guys are watching us from. Just give us a city or a state or a country, whatever the case is. Dipesh, are you back?
Yep, I'm back. Can you see me?
All right. So why don't you quickly tell us a little bit about your trip to Gunnemoor, not getting into product, but just about the visit and the thing that struck you the most about your visit there.
So Gunnemoor was very interesting as well. And actually, you're going to hear me say this for every single manufacturer we visited, but because they are truly unique in their own style of making bats there or procuring the bats. So the Gunnemoor itself, as majority of you know, or most of you know, that they do make their bats in-house in UK. They have a big CNC machines, and if people don't know about what that is, basically it's a machine that shapes the clef. And once that is done, that doesn't mean the bat is done. They have, after that, they have about 12 to 15 manual steps where you have a human touch in every single step, from fitting the handle, cutting the handle into the clef, from sending the bat, from oiling the bat, fitting the stickers, fitting the toe guards, and so on and so forth. So it was very fascinating. The factory itself was a very process oriented, which what stood out for me, because I have never used Gunnemoor bat in my life.
Yeah.
However, after looking at the factory and processes that they have in place, I would want to use Gunnemoor bat for my upcoming season. So what I did is I went to Trent Bridge, which is next door to their factory, and we had a test track where I was able to test out different equipments and different range. So I test out their entire pads, gloves, guard, helmet. Also tested out bats, different type of bats I was able to test out. So it was really good. The overall experience was fantastic.
That's excellent. If we have any viewers in the video who currently use Gunnemoor bats, wouldn't you, in the comment section as well, we'd love to know which bats and which gears you use. That'll be a really great feedback for us as well. And then lastly, I think you're probably going to have quite a different experience with the next company, and that is Kookaburra. When you went and visited Kookaburra, how did you find things over there?
So Kookaburra, surprisingly or not surprisingly, they, as all of us know, that they manufacture every single thing in India. So we weren't able to see their processes or how they do things. However, what stood out for us is the way they presented their product, new range to us, as well as the knowledge of the people, and the reasons why they are designing certain new range. And you will see some of the new things and new innovations that are coming our way from Kookaburra, especially on the gloves. So why they did certain things such a way. And I think those are the only people out of the three we found that there is something new that they're offering.
Excellent, excellent. And so that's actually pretty cool. And now, so what I want to also touch on is that you recently got back from a trip to India, where you were in meetings with SS Cricket. Why don't you just touch base a little bit on how that went?
So SS trip was very good. Reason for that is because I was able to work with the manufacturer to bring out the new shapes and new stickers for SS bats. I know, and when I say new shapes, meaning I know up till now, if you guys have noticed, the SS bats are pretty much same shape throughout. All of their range from a 35 or whatever $600 bat all the way to $110 bat. They're all pretty much the same shape, slight variation here and there, but nothing more, nothing less. So what I did is I work with the manufacturer directly, because we sell SS a lot, because a lot of customers in US loves SS. So what I did is I sat down with them and hand selected the shapes that one, player uses, and two, that is going to fit, that is going to perform the best in US conditions. So for example, we are bringing in Virat Kohli's shape, which seems to be very popular because he's piling on a lot of runs, which has a unique light pickup to their bats. We are bringing in MS Dhoni shape, which gives you the lot of meat for those heavy hitters. We are bringing you Yuvraj Singh shape, which is also a full spine, which is definitely going to work a lot better here. And then lastly, we're bringing you Sachin Tendulkar shape because that is the legend that we all love, or at least so.
Excellent. And so, why don't you, talking about this this joint venture that you're essentially doing with SS here in the United States, with A, regards the new stickers, and B, regarding this hand selection process and the fact that you have special access to this premium willow. What is that all about?
So we are the one of the very few, distributor, retailer, whatever you call us or name us, has access to, majority of the manufacturer and have privilege to hand select the bats. And we give them our requirements, and so for example, if we are picking up 100 bats, they make about 500, 600 bats for us to pick from. And even if I don't like 100 bats out of 600, then I say, okay, I only like 50, and we take only 50, because I know how the US market works. I know what customer wants. So that way we want to minimize the complaints, we want to minimize the returns, and also we want to maximize the performance of the willow. And that is the key for us here. So also, not only we hand select the regular bats, we have access to the premium willow, which is actually used for player. And when I say premium willow, meaning we go to the player's room. There is a room specifically dedicated which stores hundreds and hundreds of player bats, which are ready to go to players, ranging from Ranji Trophy players all the way to Virat Kohli himself. And every now and then, when we go out there and there are bats, we have ability to take few of them to supply it to our premium customers here. So we are only one of the few one probably in the States who has ability to do this, and who are very, I would say we are very privileged to get our hands on those willows.
Yeah, so that's actually a good point, because normally the stores, etc., are pretty small here in the States, and they don't get to go to India, or they certainly don't get access to those player rooms. I remember when I went to Gun and Moor in South Africa, we went into the players room there, and basically Herschel Gibbs had a box, Graham Smith had a box, Mark Boucher had a box, Richard Levi had a box, etc. And there was a couple of bats in there, and those were specially designed and made for those players. So that was actually pretty cool. And then tonight, you're doing something pretty cool tonight. You're traveling back to India. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, where you're going, and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so I'm going back to India to meet all these manufacturers, and specifically we have a big meeting with MRF, as we are going to be distributing MRF in US, Canada, and possibly some other places which we won't name just yet, because deals haven't been finalized yet. So we are meeting with them. Not only meeting with them, we are also, after meetings, we are going to the factory and again hand selecting the bats for all of you. And as some of you who have used our bats, you guys can all vouch for it, that the bats that you get from us, majority, I wouldn't say all of it, but I would say 90-95% of the bats are all hand selected by us, and majority of them is me and one of my other colleagues, Amar Shah, who travels with me often as well. So it is hand selected by us, because we truly believe that because willow is a natural product. You cannot find a consistency. Yes, you may find a consistency in the shape, in the grip, in the toe guard, but you cannot find a consistency in the clef, because it's a natural product. And the reason we hand select it is because we want to at least try to give a consistent willow to all of our customers, which are high performing willow. Because we make all these trips to all these different manufacturers, we ask the same question to every single manufacturer to understand which clef is going to perform better, at least by the looks of it, also by the feel of it, right? Because looks of it, a clef would be a really good looking clef, but it may just not perform at all. And we have learned so many years over the years. As you guys know, Jason has done a lot of research on his end as well. He has learned fair share of deal on great performing clefs and willow, and we now combine all those knowledge and try to bring you guys the best.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. So what has been happening with Hammer Cricket brand? Have you got anything to sort of spread with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So apart from Grey Nichols, Gun & More, and Kookaburra, we also met manufacturer of Hammer Cricket. So we went to the factory who manufactures the Hammer Cricket bats in UK. So as majority of you know, Hammer Cricket bats are manufactured in UK and in India. So we went and already spoke with a manufacturer for Hammer Cricket bats and what changes we are bringing in. So we're bringing some very good changes, which is being proven that is going to increase the performances of the bats. Also, I'm going to India, and I'm going to also go to the factory who manufactures Hammer bats, the Black Edition especially. And what we try to do with the Black Edition is I try to go to the player room of different manufacturer and try to just grab the player bat. And we bring that as a Black Edition because, as you guys know, we only have access to probably 25 bat a year because it is a truly a high performing willow.
That is good news, and I think as a customer as well, and you're spending that kind of money on a quality product, you definitely want to know and you want to have that confidence that it's really is a player's bat rather than just someone, because everyone says, oh, this is a player's bat, but 90% of those are not actually player's bats. So it's really cool to know that we've got this sort of high quality product coming into the store. Are you planning anything special with Grey Nichols?
Yeah, so with Grey Nichols, what we are trying to do is we are trying to so as you guys know, that some of the bats, or I would say 90% of the Grey Nichols bats, are manufactured in India. So this year we are getting access to go to Grey Nichols factory in India during this trip. So we are planning to go ahead and figure out a way to hand select some of the Grey Nichols bat for you as well. Also, what we are going to bring you guys is we're going to bring you guys a personalized message from the player itself for Cricket Store Online customers. And stay tuned for those. We are working with Grey Nichols very closely. And for our Indian customers, as you know, Karun Nair and Manish Pandey, they are using the Grey Nichols bats now. So I'm going to try to grab a couple of those bats that they actually use, which are being manufactured for them in the factories, and some of the other Alex Hales bats and so on and so forth.
Excellent. Well, that's actually pretty good news. We've all seen in the past some of the Indian-made Grey Nichols bats are not necessarily the best. Definitely not as good as they ever were from the UK. But the fact that you're actually going over there is really cool. Lastly, I just want to touch on the new SS stickers. We had one of our fans on the Facebook page ask about what's up with the new stickers. Some stores still carry old stickers. What's going on with the new stickers? Who's going to have new stickers, old stickers, etc., etc. Just give us some sort of clarity on what's going on with that.
Yes, so the SS new stickers are especially designed for Cricket Store Online and for the US market. There are a couple of reasons, because as some of you guys know, that the export quality is a different quality than what you find in India, unless you go and hand select the bats in India from store to store who has like hundreds of bats and you select one or two. Yes, likelihood of you getting a good piece of willow is high when you go and hand select it. As compared to you just calling your friend and say, hey, ship me a bat, and he would just go and pick up a bat from one of the store. Likelihood of you getting a really good willow is slim in that case. So just to differentiate between the older stickers, which is SS, double S, and then the new sticker that we are introducing in US market, it's a clear differentiation between the export quality versus the quality that you find back home in India. So we wanna set ourselves apart from those who has just the ordinary older stickers. That's one. And then the second reason is each sticker range, each sticker coloring and the range is tied to a particular player shape.
Yeah,
So that is also
let me
another
just
thing.
cut you off and touch on there, because, for example, this particular sticker you might see in other stores, correct?
Not in US. Not in the US.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, you might see it in the UK, but what you're saying is unique to Cricket Store Online is this branding, correct? The Legend, Terminator, Platinum, etc.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. The branding is unique to Cricket Store Online.
And then, what was I going to say? Why don't you just quickly touch on the Terminator, Platinum, what else we got there? Terminator, Platinum, Legend, and Finisher. What are those and who do they belong to?
Yeah, so the Platinum belongs to Virat Kohli because he's truly a Platinum player right now. The amount of runs he's scoring, he's breaking every single records that is coming his way. So we reserve him in that Platinum category. So it is truly his shape, the shape that he actually uses with. Exact profile, let me just put it that way, exact profile that he uses. Yeah, it might vary a little bit here and there because sometimes in a different condition he changes things a bit, but majority of the time he uses this profile. That's Platinum for you. The Terminator profile is for the Yuvraj Singh profile because, you know, as you all know, 6 balls, 6 sixes in World T20 wasn't easy, and he did it, and he terminated the bowlers like anything on his day. So we termed that Terminator. Finisher is after MS Dhoni because, as you guys know, he's one of the best finisher in the world right now. And then the legend is a truly there is only one legend in a recent time, which is one and only Sachin Tendulkar. So
Excellent.
those are the bats exactly after their profile and their shapes.
All right, excellent. So I think that's really good news, obviously, for Cricket Store Online customers going into 2018. That really does mean that you're going to be, or we're going to be bringing the absolute best cricket gear for them. And definitely really cool to see you going to England to visiting those UK brands, as well as going to India, getting the best stuff from there. So I think for today's show, we're at about 25 minutes. Just a heads up to customers to leave their comments below. Head over to cricketstoreonline.com. Also follow the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. We're all over the place, and we're going to be bringing a lot more videos like this, sharing great content and being more in touch with customers. So if they have any questions, there's a comment box down below here or down below here for customers. Please let us know where you're watching from. If you have any of the cricket gear that we mentioned today, we'd love to know what sort of bats you guys are using. And then just to Dipesh, I know that you're a super busy guy, so thanks for giving me some of your time before you're heading out on your trip tonight back to India. To MRF, that's going to be pretty cool to talk to you about that when you get back. So that's it. Is there anything you want to mention to Cricket Store Online customers before you leave?
Yeah, just the one more thing. Up till now, we have been heavily focusing on our adult cricketers. I know we have in the past have focused little on our, but this year we have made a commitment to us focus, also give equal focus and equal importance to our junior cricketers who's playing across the US, who's currently playing right now in Florida at a US Open Youth. So we will be bringing tons and tons of quality junior cricket gears. I'm going right now to India to make sure the weights are right for the junior cricketer on the bats. So this trip is all about senior cricketers as well as the junior cricketers. So we are giving enough importance to them. So just head to the Cricket Store Online and you will find quality junior gears as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, give us a thumbs up. subscribe to the channel so that you know all about when the latest videos pop up. You'll actually get that notification. So that's pretty cool. So once again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later, Dipesh, and we'll talk to you all again soon. Cheers, guys.